Hello, I'm Bev Turner. This is GBN Originals. Now listen, we've been wondering how we're all going to get pulled into this digital cage of the future. How are they going to get us to subscribe when a lot of us believe in these peaceful acts of non-compliance? And there are various things we can do in life to dodge this system and this ever-encroaching sense that we're going to be living in this digital matrix. Well, we got a clue this weekend, and it's going to be about international travel, of course, whether you are going to want to have and own a journey pass. Now, that means no passport, just your facial recognition when you walk into the airport. And the airport will know which flight you're getting on, and you will just walk through, of course. What could possibly go wrong with a system like that? Well, I spoke to Simon Calder, superb travel journalist. He's been traveling around the world for years and reporting back the stories. Well, on this one, Simon and I very much disagree. I'll tell you what I think after this. I'd love to know what you think. Have a watch. What's going on here? You bought some boarding passes.
I have. Well, I'm just going to give you... I know you're all way too young, but in the olden days, you used to have an airline ticket.
Still love it.
Piece of paper. Look at that. They tear out the coupons and everything else. And then you got your passport.
Yeah.
OK. Now, the idea is that within years, and we can argue about how many years, that will all be gone. You know that already when you book a flight, you're going from Manchester to Malaga, you can book the flight in 2 seconds. But then, that's only the start. You've then, later on, got to check in. So you book a flight, basically saying, I'd like to travel. And then they say later on, oh, do you want to travel? And so you'll now get something called a journey pass. And when your passport and your phone finally get integrated, so you've got a proper digital passport, then it will say, oh, that's Bev, yeah. And you'll be walking into an airport. You won't need to do anything. Facial recognition now so good that, for instance, I've got identical twin sisters and it can tell them apart. And actually, it's really only the family who can do that.
Using the internet without a VPN, a virtual private network, is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. This video's sponsor is Private Internet Access. They are the VPN to help keep you safe. Click the link in the description below to find out why over 30 million people have downloaded PIA to protect themselves online. A virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and helps keep your data private. When you're browsing the internet at home, you give up a large amount of data to businesses, to shops, and indeed to social media giants too. Hackers have the ability to steal your personal data with ease, including sensitive information such as passwords, keystrokes, and even your personal photos. Private Internet Access helps protect your personal data by encrypting your internet connection to keep your data out of the hands of cyber criminals. And it's not just hackers either to be concerned about. Information can be censored too. When Canada passed their C-18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news and content you love. Private Internet Access is available for Windows users, Mac OS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one PIA subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices. And we've got a huge GB News discount for you too. Click the link in this video's description and you'll get a massive 83% off PIA. That's under £2 a month, the price of a coffee, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free on top. Also, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee too. Visit piavpn.com/GB News to start protecting yourself digitally today.
So facial recognition is very good, all merges together, and you just breeze through and you get to the gate and they say, oh, Bev, welcome on board. And that's it. So
it sounds horrific.
Why?
Calder.
Why?
Because there's nothing more frustrating than computer says no, technology breakdown. And as we know, these systems and services are deeply unreliable. Yeah. Even on a very basic level, if you can't pay your parking because the app is not functioning or whatever it is, there's not a human being to talk to. Yep. I've travelled recently with my other half. We went to Morocco. And of course, you get to the check-in and we hadn't done the check-in online. Yeah. We deliberately didn't do it because I quite like to sometimes, I like to talk to people. I know that's old-fashioned.
We've noticed.
I quite like having a chat with the person
of course,
when you're checking in. And actually, sometimes I have done the check-in. I don't like going to those machines where I have to weigh my own bag. Why am I doing someone else's job when I'm not getting paid for it? I don't want to decide where I'm going to sit. I want someone to do all of that for me. In this era, this brave new world of digitisation, I just see stress, inconvenience, and a system that when it goes wrong, goes horribly wrong, and you can't talk to a human being.
Yeah, I know, Bev. I think, if I may, you would be most comfortable back in the 20th century with your paper ticket, with your passport, with a nice check-in person who's smiling at you and so on. Smile, for goodness sake.
Right. Good to know.
That's you, Henry Hill. House for the EasyJet, you'd be fabulous.
Yet, actually, things are going exactly in the opposite direction. I'll take your point. You've covered, of course, on GB News, things like the e-gates falling over all the British airports, endless airline IT failures. And yet, the direction of travel is still really clear. And the thing which has actually accelerated was, and I'm sorry to mention it, COVID.
Yeah,
do you remember to get anywhere, you had to have 17 different apps on your phone. Yep. You had to have QR codes. You had to say, in Henry's case, oh, yeah, I've had me jabs and here's my certificate. And I had my test yesterday and here's that. And the whole idea is that your whole world, your whole permission to travel is going to be on your phone. And that's the only way you're going to get around.
Permission to travel. It's all in that last word, isn't it, that Simon used there. So this is, of course, a big part of this fourth industrial revolution, the one that Matt Hancock's been banging on about since 2017 when he was digital minister. Remember that? And also, of course, Simon mentioned there that COVID has played a role in this. It's fast forwarded all of this stuff. You and I knew that already. No shock there. But what about, for instance, the elderly who may not have a smartphone? How are they going to function in this new world? We're going to be living in a world of a sort of hegemony when I hear Simon talk there. You'll never have to discuss with anybody at passport control who you are or even at check-in. No learning new words when you travel because you won't have to talk to anybody, which might suit some people. But I imagine that you, like me, hate the idea of living in a world where you don't just have that general chit-chat with people as you go about your daily life. And there'll be no uniqueness. If you can just cross borders all across the world, there's no sense of a national identity. And of course, this is your globalist wet dream. This is the new world order wrought real, isn't it? This is satisfying for those people who want human beings to be nothing but a data set that can be controlled and can be managed. Because this journey pass will also be the precursor, as we know, to your digital ID and your social credit score. So imagine a world where you walk into the airport and for whatever reason, your social credit score now in the West, not just in China, is no longer giving you permission to get on that aeroplane. There is nothing you can do. It is Minority Report. It is dystopian. It's all of those Orwellian style fiction, works of fiction, movies, books, which have preempted this nightmare vision. And it's round the corner. We're nearly there now. If you and I don't subscribe to having these journey passes / digital ID / tied to your social credit score, we just won't be able to travel around the world. But that's okay because you'll be saving the planet, right? That's what some people will tell themselves. Also bear in mind, this is about if your face doesn't fit. Quite literally, if your face doesn't fit, you won't be allowed to go to that country. And that might just be that you haven't jumped onto the latest social contagion, whether that is about whether a boy can be a girl and a girl can be a boy, or whether it's about whether you've had a vaccine or you've said the wrong thing that the government didn't like, even whether you've seen that bloody adolescence or not. Whatever the latest trend is that you are meant to follow could easily be flagged up in this new, modern, neo-feudalist communism, which is what this is all tied to. But maybe I'm just using too much imagination. Maybe I just need to get back in my box and just sign up to the whole thing. I don't think so, do you? Let me know in the comments below what you think about it. If you like our video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. I'll see you next time.